One of the newer features in Google Forms is called quizzes. So we can take a Google form and create a quiz, a self-grading quiz, from the questions that we've created. So notice that I have a Math 101 set up. So we have a first name, last name submission here. Notice that each of these questions with the asterisk, those are all required questions. And down below, we've got some multiple choice questions with a simple math equation and a multiple choice question below. So the first step in creating a math quiz is just going ahead and designing your form as if you were just going to create just a standard form. So you notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions here. Now, once you have this done, what we can do is we can come into settings. And remember, in one of our previous videos, we went through the different settings here. I would probably want to collect email addresses if this is going to be my students that are taking this quiz. I'm going to limit it to 1 response, and I am not going to allow them to edit after that. Under presentation, I can show the progress bar, and because I have many different students taking this quiz, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle those questions so they're not just encouraged to kind of look over at their friends. The last tab here is called quizzes, and this is where it gets super cool. I can actually make this a quiz. So it's going to turn this into a quiz. It's going to do some things on the form, but before you go out of this and save it, you need to make sure that you have some things checked down in here. Now, if you don't mind that the students get the grade right away, well, you can go ahead and immediately release that grade after submission. Here's where you have to be careful. If you have multiple students taking this, what I would suggest you do is don't turn on missed questions. You don't want them to see that and correct answers. You can have them see point values. But again, if you have multiple sections, you want to turn these off. Once I click on save, I'm going to go back into my test down here. It's collecting email addresses, so on and so forth. And notice what it does is it gives me the opportunity to set up an answer key here. So that wasn't there before I turned it on, so now this shows up. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to say, all right, how many points is this worth? Well, we're going to make that worth 2 points. It just happens to be the answer as well. And then I come in here and I select the correct answer. Now I can have multiple answers that are correct, but in this case there's only one answer. One correct answer. I can add answer feedback that says, hey, incorrect answers, correct answers, which is kind of cool to be able to do that. And you can go from there. So I'm going to do that for each of the different questions. I'm going to click into here, answer key, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. We're going to also make that worth 2 points. I'm going to come down here to this particular one, edit question, 3 plus 3 is 6, and that is worth 2 points. 4 plus 4, again, answer key. So I'm just going ahead, I'm actually just going ahead and setting up the answer key here, assigning point values, and now 10 right here. This is a little bit harder one, so I'm going to go ahead and click, click on answer key, click on 20. Let's make this worth 4 points. All right, so now I'm done with that quiz. If I come in and I click on preview to take that quiz, what you'll notice is that I'm going to go ahead and enter my email address. And notice that it is taking and looking to make sure that this is an email address, .net and last name. So what is 3 plus 3? Now what you're going to notice is that it's actually showing me these questions as if they are they're scrambled here. So what is 4 plus 4? I'm going to miss a couple. I know that it's 8, but I'm going to miss a couple. Don't judge. 1 plus 1, that's definitely 3, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So now I can go ahead and submit this. Oh, it didn't get my first name in. I passed that up, and that's the only problem with shuffling questions, is that sometimes you get your first name and your last name and those things shuffled as well. Click on submit, and now I can view my score. So now I can see that 1 plus 1, I put 2 out of 2, 4 out of 4, and so on and so forth. So it's going to show me how many points I got. It's not going to show me what the right answer is. It's going to show me that. So you have to decide what you want to toggle on, what you want to toggle off in order to make that work. And there's my total score right there. So, and if I want to come back in here to this, I notice now that under responses, I see a 1 here. That's telling me that I have 1 response. It's going to give me a little pop-up here. And I can do a summary, a question, or by individual. So if I had lots of people taking this test, it's going to show me who did it, what my first name is, going to show me all the correct answers there. And you notice that as I got them wrong, it's showing it as a gray bar. If I got them right, it's showing it in a green bar there. So super powerful way of collecting data. Again, I can sort by question, and notice that there are 7 questions. So if I want to see how individuals did with question 3, I can kind of go in there. Again, this whole formative feedback piece, I can actually add feedback here for this individual that based on the score, based on the response that they made. So lots of ways to do that. Again, if I had multiple people on here, I could go through and check everybody's response. A great way to collect formative feedback within Google Forms. And that's about it for Forms. So again, very powerful. If you are a user of Google Classroom, Google Form works great. If you create a quiz in Google Forms and you embed it into your Google Classroom, it will actually pull the grades from Google Forms for you. So that'll show up in one of our other classes, a Google Form or a Google Classroom class that's going to be run later this year. So lots of possibilities using Google Forms, using the quiz function.